Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 11B, and we're here to talk about the trailer that they just released for the second part of Season 11, which is the final season, as we all know. And I want to start off by saying I do apologize for not making a video for a while now. This has been the longest, I think, since I started the channel. That I haven't made a video. I think the longest before this was like a week or something. That's it. So I do apologize. This is not something I usually do, but I just got extremely busy with things in life. But we're back today to talk about the season 11B trailer. I thought it would be a great time to come back now that they released the trailer, and it would be a great video to come back on. Of course, we're gonna have a lot of other Walking Dead videos, This is just the initial breakdown of the trailer, but they also released, photos and other things like that because marketing is starting. The season is returning in less than a month. I am so excited. It's been very quiet also, for The Walking Dead, the whole universe, Fear the Walking Dead, The World Beyond. The World Beyond ended. And then The Walking Dead, they've all been on break, so it's also been very quiet. So it was super exciting to get this trailer, and I have to say this trailer is amazing. It got me super hyped up for this season. I'm very excited to talk about it with you guys. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about the trailer. I'm doing a breakdown in this video, but obviously I'm probably not going to get all of it. There's a lot of things in this trailer, so be sure to let me know anything that I might have missed. Before I do get into it though, I guess a general spoiler warning in case you are not caught up with The Walking Dead. And then also, if you are a fan of the show, be sure to subscribe because we have a lot of Walking Dead content coming up since the new season is right around the corner. The second part of the new season is right around the corner. But yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so this trailer is action-packed, like extremely action-packed. Especially towards the end of the trailer. And I'm very excited about it. So just a quick little recap. At the end of season 11, episode 8, they didn't finish the Reaper arc just yet. The Reapers are still alive. They took out Pope, but the other Reapers are still there. And it sort of ended in a bit of a cliffhanger, where it seemed like Maggie and Negan were in the crosshairs of the Reapers. But in this trailer, we do see Maggie and Negan alive. So in hindsight, that cliffhanger didn't really work out. But the point, that's not the point. Just a little funny side note. But this season, these 8 episodes, I should say, we're going to be focusing, I think, mainly on the Commonwealth. But there'll still be Reaper stuff lingering around in the background, or I'm not sure if I don't know if it's going to be happening at the same time as the Commonwealth stuff, or is it going to be happening in the first 2 episodes, and then they just move on to the Commonwealth stuff. We'll see. But we do see the main group at the Commonwealth in this trailer. We see them at Alexandria. Real cool stuff. So let's get into it. We get a couple of shots of the characters. So you got Daryl and Maggie and Aaron and Carol here. This shot of Carol, or this scene of Carol, I think we're seeing a lot of this whatever's going on here throughout the trailer. She has a flashlight and she's exploring somewhere. I think this might be going on at the Commonwealth because she's probably exploring the Commonwealth, trying to figure out who they are. And this definitely fits Carol's character because she is always someone who is sort of skeptical about the communities they meet. When they first all came to Alexandria, she was skeptical of them. So I think it's probably the same thing is probably happening here. We'll see more of this throughout the trailer. You have Judith here, you have Daryl, you have this scene of, it looks like Daryl and Aaron. I don't know who that is behind them. I can't really tell, but it looks like they're in some sort of junkyard here. Maybe they're scavenging or something, or maybe they're looking for the Reapers, because the next shot, we have Leah and these 2 Reapers, and Daryl has one of the Reapers held hostage, and you can see that he has rope around his mouth. So I wonder, actually, I was just sort of dissing the cliffhanger in the beginning of my review or my video. But now that I think about it, it's still, I guess, a decent cliffhanger. because I still don't know how they're going to get out of it, because they were in the crosshairs of the Reapers. And now, looking at this trailer, we see that they captured one of the Reapers. So, I'm not sure if they just like booked it and ran out of there, and then came back and snuck like took one of the Reapers or something, or maybe someone else did. Maybe Father Gabriel took one of them while because not everybody was like there. It was mainly just Negan and Maggie who were the ones who seemed to be in danger. But we'll see. But I also wonder, and I kind of hope, I think it will be more interesting if the Reapers stick around for a little bit, like especially Leah. And I want to see them deal with the Commonwealth as well. Because they usually do that a lot on The Walking Dead, where they have a group sort of like left over into the next season or the next, half of the season or whatever. And then we get like the first 2 episodes of, them, or the first 3 episodes, and then they move on to the next group. Like we saw with the Saviors, right? Like the Savior War ended technically in season 8. But the first couple episodes of season 9, we still had like we still had Savior stuff, and then they went into the Whisperers. So I think it would be interesting if the Reapers actually stick around. So we'll see. Here we have Maggie and Aaron. You have Carol. They have their weapons here, so I'm assuming this probably isn't them at the Commonwealth at the Commonwealth base yet, because the Commonwealth would take away their weapons pretty easily. You got Leah and Daryl. I know. I actually think I think Leah and Daryl, I do like their complicated relationship. I think it was interesting to see. I think it was really cool actually that we saw that episode in season 10, and then we saw Leah again. That was really well done in my opinion. So I do hope Leah sticks around. I think it would be interesting. Here you have Maggie and Herschel Jr., and they're looking at Negan. And we have this new character next to Negan. I think it's a new character. We do get like shots of like other characters on this in this trailer. I think we're seeing mainly new characters. The reason I'm saying it like that is because The Walking Dead does have like a lot of secondary characters that we don't really see too much of, and they sort of like pop up every now and then. Like I know Diane is in this trailer, and we haven't seen Diane in a long time. But this character, I think she's new. I don't really remember seeing her anywhere else. But let me know if if she's a character that we had on the show before. I do apologize. But this scene, I want to talk about this scene for a moment, because you can feel the tension in the scene between Maggie and Negan. Like they're still obviously very upset at each other. And this is obviously going to be a pretty heavy scene, I think, especially since Herschel Jr. is there. I'm sure he has questions about Negan and stuff like that. So, they're still keeping this this tension between them alive. Even though they're sort of working together and stuff like that, there's still going to be problems between them. And so far, I like the way they've handled it so far. I don't think they're doing too much of the drama between them. There's just like the right amount. They're sort of almost putting their differences aside to work together for the sake of the group and the sake of what's going on right now with the Reapers. So I do like that bit of it. Oh my goodness, I'm going on for 8 minutes already, and we're not even like close to being done with the trailer. So this video might be a little bit long, but hey, it's my first video back in a while. That's okay. You got a scene of Negan and Maggie here, and Daryl like screams no. And the way they make it look in the trailer is as if Maggie is like shooting at Negan, but I don't think that's happening. I mean, especially right now, like who knows what's gonna happen at the end of the season, at the end of the show. Obviously, Maggie is still very upset at Negan, but I don't think it's happening in this scene. But he is yelling Maggie no though, so I wonder what that could be about. Maybe she puts the gun up to Negan, or maybe it's something related to something else, like a walker or something. We'll see, but. We also get some dialogue from the characters throughout the trailer. Like we have Ezekiel saying, "Darkness is heavy. Some of us carry more than others because we're strong enough to hold the weight." And Daryl says, well, I don't think these scenes are connected, but I'm just saying these are what the characters are saying. Just conversations within the episodes. Daryl says is very interesting. He says, "We're doing this all wrong. We survived everything for what? To keep fighting and killing each other?" I think this is a very important line, because Daryl has been talking about this for a while with Carol, because this is even before the Whispers came on the show. I remember Daryl and Carol were talking about how they just go from one group of villains to the next group of villains to the next group of villains, and they were talking about how they wanted to leave. And I wonder if this has anything to do with their spin-off, because remember, Carol and Daryl are supposed to be getting a spin-off after The Walking Dead is over this season. And I wonder if this is setting up that spin-off because it's just them two as far as we know. Maybe they will leave. And my theory, and I don't want to get into this because this will send us into a whole other conversation, but my theory is that they go after Rick, or they find out about Rick, or they find out about Michonne and they go after them. That's my theory for what this show is about, but I could totally be wrong, and I don't know. That's just my theory, but I wonder if this also is setting it up. So we'll see. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below, but this isn't the first time they've had this conversation, is what I mean. And I don't know if Daryl's having this conversation with Carol, but this isn't the first time like Daryl said something like that. Oh, sorry, I completely skipped over Negan's line of dialogue here. He says, "You see, when it comes to me, it's just a matter of time before you make the same call." And this was played over that scene with Daryl yelling like no at Maggie. So that, I'm assuming that means like Negan is still sort of like skeptical about Maggie and thinks that Maggie might kill him. So we'll see how that plays out. What do you guys think about it? Like, do you think at the end of the show, like, Maggie will kill Negan, or do you think Negan will just leave? I think Negan will leave, sort of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how the show is going to end because there's so many characters, but if the show is going to end, like, and characters maybe go their own separate ways, like, I could see Negan leaving. I'm sure the majority of the characters will stay in Alexandria, but I could see Negan leaving. But you guys let me know what you think. We have this scene of it looks like some basement is being flooded. I think there's like something going on in this building because we see more of it later on. We have this new character. I'm pretty sure this is a new character. These are characters that are being highlighted in the trailer, so I'm assuming they're going to be pretty important. Here we have Eugene. He is sitting inside of a cell. I'm assuming this is at the Commonwealth. We see scenes of him outside the cell and then in the cell. So I wonder if, because I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure episode 8 ended with Eugene being captured and being in trouble by the Commonwealth. So maybe he escapes later on, but there's some pretty intense scenes with Eugene. Like, he gets very angry at whoever he's talking to, and we'll see this scene later on, but man, I have to say, like, I am loving what they're doing with Eugene the last few seasons. I think they're doing such a great job with his storyline, and Josh McDermott has been such a great, he's always been a great actor, but these last few seasons, we really see that highlighted. And there's a moment in this trailer which really like sort of had me shocked. I was like, damn, that's a really great Eugene scene. But we'll get more on that later. Here we have a scene, the same scene that I was talking about earlier. It looks like Carol's exploring. So, that's what I mean. I think she's looking, probably exploring the Commonwealth or something. I'm so excited to see this. Like, I'm so excited to see the group walking around the Commonwealth. Like, this is a feeling that we haven't really had in a long time. Like the group this is like essentially the group almost being brought to Alexandria for the first time, and like how different it was for them. Like, this is what's happening here. Because the Commonwealth is like so different than anything else we've ever seen before. It's sort of crazy. Like, even the stuff we see in the trailer, and even the stuff we've already seen, like the ice cream stores and like the jobs people have, it's so different than anything else. Here we have Maggie running down this hallway, and I think this is that same building. The next scene we have like that basement I was talking about. You have a Walker here. You got Judith and Grace. They're fighting the Walker. So I think maybe they're in this building, all these characters, and they get in some Walker trouble. So yeah, the Walkers are still something I'm looking forward to. I know this season is pretty ambitious and big with the Commonwealth and the civilization stuff, but the Walkers are what started the show, and hopefully they're still gonna be there, and I'm sure they will. I'm just saying that there's been moments on all 3 shows. I guess 2 shows, because The World Beyond didn't really have this problem that much, but both Fear and The Walking Dead, they've been moments where the Walkers weren't that, where we didn't see Walkers that often, which I always didn't like. But anyways, here is a really cool scene. We have the Commonwealth showing up to the doors, or the gates, I should say, of Alexandria, and Daryl's like telling everyone to get ready. And yeah, this is going to be a pretty big moment, I think. There's always moments where the bad guys show up at the front door. Like you got the saviors showing up to Alexandria. You got the Whisperers showing up. I think that was the Hilltop they showed up to. And now you got this. So it's always exciting to see like a new group, coming into The Walking Dead. You got Jerry, you got Daryl, and you got Maggie. They're all like, they're ready to see what's going on. Here you have Carol baking cookies. So that's what I mean. Like the world is so different, right? Like, so everyone is sort of getting jobs, and we'll see it throughout the trailer. I mean, Carol loves baking cookies. We know that. So, that fits well. Here you have Eugene. That's what I meant. So like, there's some scenes of Eugene out and about, around the Commonwealth, and there's also some scenes of him in the cell. So maybe eventually he escapes when his friends come there. So I could see that happening. Like once they bring his friends over, the Alexandrians and stuff. Maybe he's free. Here we have Daryl walking around the community, and I just love this scene, this shot for some reason, just because of the colors. Like I love everyone's outfits, because like these aren't really clothes you typically see people wear in the zombie apocalypse. Like these are clothes you typically see, in the real world. And that's what the Commonwealth are trying to do. Like they're trying to rebuild this civilization, and we'll even see we'll see them talk about that in a little bit in the trailer. Pamela Milton talks about that. So I just love this scene for some reason. But so it looks like the group is also staying in these buildings. You can see like the characters going in and out of the door. So maybe these are like rooms that they're staying at. And then there's like a party going on here, where Pamela Milton gets introduced. There's this scene of Magna. It looks like her job, she's working here like as a server or something during this party. So yeah, everyone is sort of getting jobs. I don't know about everybody, because Daryl was still wearing the same outfit he was earlier. So I wonder if everyone is going to get a job, and I wonder what Daryl is going to do. So again, this is similar to when they came to Alexandria and Deanna was giving everybody jobs. It's like that, but like to like a huge extent, like so different. Like I said similar, but like different in a lot of ways also, because the jobs they're getting are like so much different, right? Like these are like actual jobs, and I'm assuming they're like, I'm pretty sure, like if I remember correctly from the comics, I'm not gonna get too much into the comics, because like when I make videos talking about the TV show, I typically don't want to talk about the comics because I don't want to spoil anything or talk about stuff like that. But essentially the Commonwealth are trying to be another civilization, and I think they even have like currency and stuff. I don't think it's like a spoiler or anything, but that's the point, is like what they're trying to do. But Lance is introducing the governor of the Commonwealth, Pamela Milton, and you can see there's like a party going on here, and he brings her up, and we have this scene. She talks about her father, and again, I don't really remember. I don't remember too much about her father from the comics either. Like I don't even know if they talked about him in the comics. It's been a while since I read the Commonwealth issues, but I want to talk about this woman right here, because I think she's the real Stephanie. We saw her a couple times in season 11A, and I think she's the real Stephanie. I really do, because this actress, I believe her name is Margot Bingham. I think when they announced Stephanie being casted, I think they announced her as Stephanie. But then because of all the delays and everything, like they announced this like over a year before we even saw her on The Walking Dead, because of, the delays and stuff. So they potentially could have changed it, or they potentially could have just like, I mean, who knows? I don't really know. But all I'm saying is that there is something up with this character, and I think she's Stephanie. And I didn't notice, that's Princess in the back there with a crown on. I think that's Princess. That's pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, so Pamela is talking about her father, and she says that thanks to my father's sacrifices, we are all here. She talks about how they're, putting the world back together the way it was. And in my notes, when I watched the trailer, I wrote down, like, who is her father? Because, again, I don't really remember her father from the comics. I don't even know if they even brought her father up in the comics. But the show obviously does change stuff, so it is possible for this to be an important character later on. I'm assuming he's not alive, because the way she's talking about him, like I don't think he's alive. But I do wonder if we're going to learn more about his history and her history. Like maybe he's an important, like in my mind I'm just thinking about the CRM. I'll just say it, because like I assume the CRM know about the Commonwealth. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. But like I would be shocked if they don't know each other. I think they do. They have to know each other. Like how does the CRM not know the Commonwealth? Like arguably the second biggest. I mean, it is the second biggest community that we've seen, so far. So we'll see. But anyways, moving on, we have the Commonwealth in Alexandria. So I'm assuming this is going to be them, like, just walking around and, almost interrogating them, I guess, like they sort of did with Eugene and his group. Here we have Carol. I believe this is Sebastian, if I remember correctly. We saw him in season 11A. For like a split second, but I think this is him. He's an important character. Sebastian is an important character. I don't even know if this is Sebastian, so I might be talking about the wrong person, but Sebastian is on the show, so I'll just say it anyways. But Sebastian is a very important character. He is Pamela's son. Here we have Lydia. It looks like they're fighting some walkers in the woods or something. We didn't get to see much of Lydia in season 11A, so yeah, hopefully we get more of her. There's a lot of Walking Dead characters in the show. Like Rosita was one also that I said that we should see more of her. Although she did have a really good episode 8. Here we have Negan fighting a walker. You got the Commonwealth fighting walkers. You got Kelly and Connie. I'm so glad that Kelly and Connie are back, together. They reunited. Because Magna's group has been split up for so long, and they're still split up almost. Like Magna and Yumiko were split up. Luke, I don't even know where Luke is. I think he's at Oceanside. I think maybe we'll see, but yeah, they're still really split up. And then we have this scene of or this shot of Ezekiel. We have Elijah, Maggie, Herschel Jr. And Daryl here at the hilltop. We got this scene of the Commonwealth like setting up base at the hilltop. So this scene is a little funny to me, like how I don't know, like they're just setting up like a tent here and like multiple tents. They're like almost showing off, like, hey, look at all the supplies we have. They're just so different than anything else we've ever seen before on the show. But if they were at Alexandria and now they're at the hilltop, I'm assuming they're maybe going from like community to community and like really checking these people out and like wondering who they are, before they bring him into, they bring him into the hilltop, or excuse me, the Commonwealth. We have other shots of them here. You got Aaron and Gabriel. You have this scene of Carol. And Carol, this is at the hilltop. Carol just looks so suspicious. I love how Carol's been looking so suspicious the entire trailer. As she should, I'm sure it makes sense. Here we have Lydia. There's somebody on the ground here hurt. I really don't know who it is, but they all look concerned. So this is probably them like dealing with, this is like during the Commonwealth, probably going there or something. You got this scene of Mercer. He's like covered in blood, a pretty scary looking shot. I'm assuming it's just walkers because they were fighting walkers in the woods. Here you have Connie and Kelly. They're at Alexandria, or excuse me, at the Commonwealth. So, you can see how different things are in the Commonwealth. Not only just like jobs and stuff, but like everyone, I think everyone is getting a job. Like everyone is dressed up super nicely and stuff. It's just so different. Eugene here. You got Yumiko. And now this is a really interesting scene. You got Yumiko and her brother, and then you got Magna, who we talked about earlier. It looks like she has like a job as a server or something. And just like think about this, like it's just so bizarre, like what they were living like, and now they're in this other community, and Magna's like serving drinks to Yumiko, who she was in a relationship with. Like it's just like so different. And I'm assuming she's a lawyer, so maybe they're gonna treat Yumiko like very nicely. And maybe they're not going to treat some of the other people, from her group very nicely. We'll see. Because remember, they gave her a job, but they're not being very friendly to like the other people, like Eugene and them. So yeah, this is going to be interesting for sure to see this play out, like just the dynamics between the characters and the communities and just like stuff like that. You got Princess and Eugene here. Princess is also, I guess, locked up in this. Someone is questioning them. And then there's a conversation going on between Magna and Rosita, and Magna's like, this place is like a city from before. for people who can't fit in, get cast out. You remember? And Rosita's like, yeah, I do. So I think that line tells us a lot. So people who can't fit in get cast out, right? So there's gonna be like I said, like there's people who like Yumiko who are lawyers, and I'm sure the Commonwealth will treat them very nicely. Because essentially they have like a class system here, I'm assuming, right? They have like a class system. So, like lawyers and doctors probably will get treated a lot better than, some of the other people in the community. Wow, I'm at 25 minutes. If you're watching this video this long, I always do this. Whenever I'm making a long video, I always wonder if people are really watching up to this point. So if you're watching up to this point, comment down below. The Walking Dead, like TWD hype. I just want to see if you're watching this far. And if you are, thank you very much. And if you aren't, I still want to say thank you very much for even watching the video. But whenever the main trailers come out, my initial video is so long because I really do like breaking it down shot by shot and even talking about like the dialogue and everything. But anyways, you got this scene of going back to the Commonwealth at the hilltop. So I'm sure there's gonna be some tension there because they probably won't trust each other and stuff like that. And then there's a lot of action, what I was talking about earlier. So there's a lot of action, a lot of walkers fighting fighting some of the characters. You got Daryl fighting a walker. Negan is actually fighting a person here. I think this might be the Reapers. You got again Daryl fighting walkers. Here's the other point of view from the other side. You can see Negan is fighting a person. You got Diane here fighting something. I'm assuming it maybe a walker. We can't really tell, but Diane, it's nice to see her again. I mean, she's been on the show since season 7, and that's what I meant earlier. Like, there's a lot of secondary characters who are on the show, and we know they're alive. We just don't see too much of them. But yeah. You got a bunch of walkers here, and man, these walkers look great. This one walker in the middle looks really great. And the Walking Dead has been going on for 12 years almost. Say what you want about certain storylines, but one thing they're always, masters at is just making the walkers look terrifying, and just the makeup and effects team is just amazing. Okay, so I want to talk about this scene. So this is interesting. Now, this is the Stephanie that got introduced to us, or as we know, her name is Stephanie. That's according to the show. But now we have a sign here saying she's missing, so I wonder what's up with that. So there's something up with this character, which is why I still don't think she's the real Stephanie. I always thought that because the Commonwealth figured out that Eugene was talking to somebody named Stephanie, they tricked Eugene into thinking this is Stephanie so he could talk to her about his people or something. That's what I kind of thought. But there's obviously a lot more going on here now that she's missing. You guys let me know what you think. Who knows? Maybe she really is the real Stephanie, and then now she's upset at the Commonwealth for mistreating Eugene, and maybe they aren't treating her very well either, and she leaves. Who knows? But there's a sign about her missing. So we'll see. Yeah, very mysterious stuff. So this is the scene I was talking about earlier, where Josh McDermott gives some great acting. Now, if you watch the trailer and I couldn't really make out what he said. I really couldn't for some reason. I even turned on the subtitles, and I just couldn't tell what he was saying for some reason. I just don't know why. Like it was hard to like hear it, and even the subtitles couldn't get it. Like I said, but he's very angry, and I kind of got a couple words. I think he said something like he said something about like being certain that everyone knows who you are. And maybe he's talking about Lance, because I think Lance has a dark side to him that he's not sharing, because he's been overly friendly, and the actor is doing a great job with this, by the way. But he's being overly friendly, and then I completely skipped over this scene, but there's a scene of him in the trailer just like sitting in the office by himself, and he just like looks completely mad. You know what I mean? So like, there's obviously something going on with him. And I think maybe Eugene says, I'm not exactly 100% sure if Eugene is saying this, but that's what I sort of picked up from it. Like, he's saying like he's gonna he wants everyone to know who someone is, like being certain that everyone knows who you are. So you guys let me know if you picked up what he said, but I just couldn't pick it up for some reason. But I just love this scene anyways, because like, man, Josh McDermott was really good. And then again, some quick shots of just like action shots. You got Aaron fighting walkers. You got the group fighting walkers. you see Diane again over there in the back in this scene. Elijah, I think, and then Maggie. So hopefully, we're going because with Diane, even in the first part of season 11, I honestly can't remember. But she's a cool character. I like her. You got Daryl here. Looks like they're fighting. It could be walkers. It could also be the Reapers. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like I said earlier, like I do hope that the Reapers stick around, like especially Leah. Like I just don't want him to take out the Reapers and then move on. Like I don't want him to stay with the Reapers forever, but I want the Commonwealth to come to the main group and then the Reapers still sort of be around. And then you got Rosita here fighting some walkers. This looks like an Alexandrian house, so maybe that's what's happening here. But yeah, it does seem like the group is going to go to the Commonwealth for I'm assuming like a considerate amount of time, because Alexandria just is really like destroyed right now. But I do hope when the show ends they come back around, which I'm assuming they will. Like they've been on the show, they've been at Alexandria for a long time, and Alexandria is home to the characters. So I do hope, and I do think they'll be back towards the end of the show at Alexandria. But right now it seems like pretty much everybody's going to the Commonwealth. And then you got Daryl fighting somebody here. I'm assuming this is a Reaper. Whenever I see someone with like a heavy big black jacket, I'm assuming it's a Reaper. Like the person that Negan was fighting earlier, I'm assuming that was also a Reaper. And then you got Maggie here. There's some blood on her, probably from fighting walkers. And then Aaron as well. And then we also get some dialogue from Lance. He's like, I think it's Lance. I'm not exactly sure because we don't see the character. It's just like played over the action. But someone says, I'm assuming it's Lance, get ready. We are going to remake the world. So that does sound like something Lance would say, because like Lance and Pamela Milton and the Commonwealth, they've been preaching this. But yeah, The Walking Dead final season part 2 of 3. This was a great trailer. I mean, I've been going on for over 30 minutes now. I don't know how long it's going to be like after the edit. Probably the same amount. Like there's nothing I really need to cut out or anything, but it's been a 2-minute trailer, but I talked about it for 30 minutes, and I could probably talk about it a lot more, and I will in other videos and stuff for sure. But this is my initial breakdown. Let me know what I missed. I'm assuming I missed some stuff because there was a lot of things in this trailer. Let me know, what did you think about the trailer? What do you think about the season? And what do you think about what do you hope to see happen in the second half? Or not the second half, I guess I should say the second third, because there's still like 8 more episodes after this part. Let me know, what do you hope to see in part 2 of season 11. But yeah, as far as this video goes, I am going to wrap it up there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. Again, let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And for more Walking Dead videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you guys soon.